So you haven't got any world records in the past, 2 or 3 years. Why are you still here at this competition? I'm like, why is everyone else here at this competition? COVID was kind of a nice endpoint for me. It was like a nice transition.
Interesting.
It was the perfect transition. I get recognized in public or whatever, like way more than I used to.
I was just about to ask,
because of the Netflix documentary. I love watching Timon Solves. He's insane.
Where do we want to start today then, Felix? I guess we've kind of started on it already. I was saying to you off air, I was trying all week to work out how to not be rude when I ask this, but you are someone who represents, I suppose, a cuber post your main career, right? You're not I don't know, past your peak that's not what I would say, but you know what I mean? You're not competing every weekend and hitting every comp and traveling the world quite as much anymore.
No, sounds exhausting.
It does, doesn't it? I can barely even make it to like 3 comps a year in New Zealand, and then people are traveling the world. But I suppose I'm not even sure. I'm not even sure what the question is, but like you're still competing. You're still obviously a very accomplished speedcuber. You're still recognized as like, one of the greatest that's ever competed, having held down like pretty much every record. No clock record, I don't think.
I had clock OCR actually.
Did you?
Back in the day. There you go.
Okay, it did have it. See, there's no stopping you. Okay, so what? Yeah, I guess it's like what essentially your priorities change, right? So, how do you manage? How do you keep cubing in your life? Like where does it fit now?
Yeah, it's a very respectful way of asking that question. I was thinking about it just before, and I remember at a competition a couple of years ago, it was like some parent or some cubing mom, and she was like, so you haven't got any world records in the past, 2 or 3 years. Like, why are you still here at this competition? I'm like, why is everyone else here at this competition? So no. Yeah, it's been fun. It's been a very long, obviously, journey and a career. But what is cubing in my life now? I still do a bit of practice. I'm still attending competitions, as people see here and there. I'm still getting just as annoyed when I don't go well, and the highs are high when I do go well. But I guess it's a different sort of satisfaction. It's like over time your expectations like recalibrate, and so what was previously a massive high for like a world record is now just as high when I put like a good finals average together. And there's a couple of like those in the past year or so, and it still feels really good. I still have all the adrenaline that I used to have when I go and compete. So I still feel it, still feel the pressure. So I still enjoy the competing side of things. Even like local comps here, right? There's a lot of very fast, very talented cubers that we go head to head, every Melbourne comp, like Dave Epstein, Riley Dexter, Feliks Patterson. And so that keeps me on my toes, and I really enjoy that part. But yeah, obviously the practice, the travel, the competing is much less a part of my life than it was, 5-6 years ago. And I think actually that COVID was kind of a nice endpoint for me. It was like a nice transition.
Interesting.
It was the perfect transition, because that was kind of the period where, like, I guess Max was already, dominating, but like Leo and Timon was starting to come up, and I was really like, looking behind me, and so with that and like the Netflix thing coming out, it was a nice opportunity to sort of pause, reflect, and be like, all right, I'm pretty happy with what I've done here. I don't need to go ham on like trying to keep up or trying to go sub 5 or anything like that, and just try and enjoy things as much as possible. So yeah, still very involved competitively and like with cubing in general, but not going ham.
Yeah,
like
no, for sure. Absolutely.
And with life and work and things like that, you you don't have time anymore.
Yeah, it definitely changes, doesn't it? You're pulled in many more directions. You brought up the Netflix documentary there, of course. That was like 4 years ago. Now was it 2020?
2020. So yeah, right in the middle of lockdowns. So it was kind of pretty yeah, perfect timing, I guess, for Netflix viewers out there, or for Netflix, or for cubing enthusiasts, because yeah, people would be watching Netflix, and that was obviously a huge year or two in terms of cubing booming when people were doing it at home in lockdown, and I was amazed just how much it like resonated with people all around the world, and how big and popular it got, because I feel like I get recognized in public or whatever, like way more than I used to.
I was just about to ask, like,
because of the Netflix documentary, I would say.
Because it's still up there on Netflix. I still recommend it to people. When I think the funniest thing, like whenever I meet someone, it's like, oh, what do you do for work? And it's like, I sell competitive Rubik's Cubes. And they're just like, sorry, I'm going to have to ask some follow-up questions on that one, sir. What on earth are you talking about? And I always end up referring them to the speedcubers, because it still stands as like a really, really good introduction to the world, to our little world for, the normies, I suppose, the people who aren't cubing, it's a great way in, and still has that effect.
It's pretty cool. They did like such an amazing job with it.
What was it? I've forgotten the name of the director, or the
Sue Kim. So she's the mum of, do you know Asher Kim Magirik?
I know the name, Asher Kim, yeah.
He got the first like sub 4 in NA. He was, I think, 10th or something at Worlds in 2023. So he's pretty fast. But his mum had been involved with speedcubing for quite a while, and kind of had seen, they live, I think, in like Washington, or that's where they were based, and so they'd been spending time with they'd spent time with like Max and stuff at competitions, and she'd always wanted to do something like this, and they pitched it to Netflix. Originally, when we got on a call with like Schwan, Max's dad, and Sue, they said, oh yeah, we'll try and pitch this to Netflix, and I was like, yeah, sure, good luck. But she was legit, so yeah. And because she was part of like the speedcubing community in general, I guess there was an element of trust, and obviously having to work with Max and Max's family, I think if they were comfortable working with her, then I was like, it's a pretty easy thing to say yes to.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, I've got a lot of respect for Max's family there. I think to a certain extent, they're a little bit protective sometimes with projects that Max get into. Do you think that's fair to say? Because he didn't do Monkey League and things like that, or is that about them protecting him, or is that just about how Max likes to compete?
I don't know. I'm not sure it's protecting. I think just Max does what he wants to do, and if he doesn't want to do something, he's not going to be made to do something. Like his parents want the best for him, and want him to. I think now, like especially now, want him to like have as much fun as possible. And so if there's something which he doesn't want to do, or would just cause unnecessary stress, I know he. I'm not sure he loved doing like even the online Red Bull competitions, even though you end up winning whatever 2 or 3 of those finals. I think those were pretty tough for him, and so I think I don't know what it is about the online format, but from my understanding, he didn't seem to love those, or that's what Schwan said, and so. If he doesn't want to do something, he doesn't need to. He doesn't need to prove anything to anyone.
No, he absolutely does't. No, he literally doesn't.
And I just wanted to use. Monkey League was fun. It was kept me in shape, kept me, with the competitive juices. So that was good. But yeah, no, he does what he wants.
Yeah, he does,
and he's done.
Yeah, no, we love that. Love that for Max. I'm just noticing a couple of things coming through in the chat. I'm being reminded by Jacob Hughes that you're still the GOAT at 5x5. Not done improving yet. Big cubes, are you finding more value in big cubes at the moment, or?
No, I don't think so.
No.
No, I don't think so. I think I don't know what my best world ranking is now. I think it's still top 10 maybe for 5x5, but those change by the week and by the day these days. But I think I'm still top 10 there. But I mean, honestly, I got a PB average of 25 on 3 by 3 the other day. So I'm still like faster than I ever was. It's just relative to relative to the cubing population.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
lower. But that comes, I mean, that comes with, improved hardware. Like you'll just get a new GAN 505 and drop a couple seconds
Well,
or
that's
get
it.
motivated to practice. So it's that hardware, that hardware cycle that really helps a lot of the time as well.
Yes, we'll talk. I might come to talk about hardware in a second. I've just fact checking. Yes, you are seventh for the 5 by 5 average at the moment.
There you go. We'll take
Let's go.
that.
Yeah, yeah. You need that, but there's 6 seconds. Best part of 5.5 seconds if you wanted to catch up with Max. But then Max
Oh
and
yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good.
yeah, you've got Max and Timon right at the top with the 34-second averages. That's ridiculous. Come on now. Everyone just
It's
relax.
pretty cool.
It has
It's
changed a
pretty
lot
cool.
since that GAN 5 by 5 appeared for sure. Hey.
Yeah, I think so, and it's so cool to see like their very different styles. Max and Timon on the 5 by 5, Max with the redux and like maximum turning speed, and then Timon with just the insane smoothness, efficiency. So I love watching Timon solves. He's insane.
It's incredible, hey.